What's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Dirtnation Off-Road. So today what we have for you is a product review, and the product that we're reviewing today is the Bluetti AC50S portable power station. Now, as somebody that is always out and about, whether it's for work, personal stuff, whatever you want to call it, I am always out of the house. At my job, I have my work tablet, I have my work phone, I have my regular phone, my AirPods, I'm listening to music all day. You know, I need to charge these devices throughout the day. And then with this YouTube channel, I have my camera, the one that I'm recording on. I have multitudes of GoPros, I have lights, accessories, drones, freaking refrigerators. I have all this other stuff that requires power constantly. In addition, a few of my vehicles, these two right here, are a little older and they don't necessarily have the proper setups in order for me to, you know, get power to my stuff all the time. The cigarette lighter on this truck, this doesn't work. This one kind of works. You know, in that case, I need something like this to keep all my stuff charged. Now in this video, what I'll be looking to do is give you guys a practical look at this power station. Not getting too deep into the science or technical aspects of this product, just real world use and my experience with it. What we'll do first is we'll show you the unboxing, what's inside the box, what it comes with, all the chargers, wires, whatever, you know, paperwork it comes with. And then we'll take a look at the power station itself, show you some of the features, some of the things that it does, all of the different ports on the front, some of the stuff that's going on in the back. Then we'll talk about some of the specs, some of the things I like about it, some of the things I don't like about it, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So let's get started. Inside the box, you'll have some paperwork, some warranty stuff, power station itself, a 12/24 volt car charger, an adapter for a solar charger, and then the 90-watt wall charger. Taking a quick look at the paperwork inside, there is a warranty sheet as well as a user manual with some useful information such as estimated backup time for various situations. There's also a page for troubleshooting showing the error codes that might pop up when using this power station. The power station itself is a more solid, compact design. It's made of plastic with silicone bumpers all around the corners and edges. It's not very heavy at about 13 pounds. It's light enough to carry around, but heavy enough to feel the quality. Using the power station, the front has a power button. You turn it on by just pressing it. Then there's buttons for the DC and AC output, which you hold down to turn on. To the right of that is a screen showing you the battery level as well as the watts for input and AC DC output. Continuing, there's two 5.5 millimeter outputs and a regulated 12 volt car charging port. On the bottom, you'll find a 45 watt USB-C port and 4 standard USB outputs, all rated at 5 volts, 3 amps. Then finally, 2 AC outputs rated at 120 volts, 300 watts, and this peaks at 450 watts. Heading to the top is where you'll see something interesting. There's a wireless charger rated at 10 watts, allowing you to charge your phone, AirPods, whatever you want that has wireless charging. On the top, there's a carrying handle that will lay flat when not in use. On the back, you'll find a 8mm input for charging, rating at 12 to 40 volts with a max of 120 watts. There's also a light with 3 settings: bright, dim, and SOS. On both sides, you'll find vents for fans, and on the bottom, you'll find information and specs, as well as some rubber feet for grip. Getting into some specs, the lithium-ion battery inside has a capacity of 500 watt-hours with a 300 watt inverter for output. I mentioned before it has a peak of 450 watts, which means you can briefly pull that kind of power, but it will most likely force an error code, turn itself off in order to not permanently damage the power station. This is also rated for 1,000 charge cycles at 80%, which means you can charge and discharge this thing 1,000 times and you're only gonna lose 20% of the capacity. It'll still have about 80. Now, getting through 1,000 charge cycles may not be too difficult on a charger like this because this thing can actually charge and power 11 devices at the same time, which might be its best feature. Multiple times I found myself using 5, 6, 7, 8 of these ports and this thing doesn't even bat an eye. With the 300 watt inverter, this power station has no problem powering my computer, my phone, the drone. I can throw the fridge on there all at the same time and it will keep those things powered. Now with the fridge specifically, I've had issues with other ones before where those things are just constantly pushing so much power that it ends up killing itself super fast with the fridge. And what I found with this one is I've left it overnight powering my fridge multiple times, and once the fridge gets down to the temperature that I set it at, it pulls virtually no power. It kind of just chills. It'll like turn on once in a while, but if you just leave it there, it pulls very, very little power, keeping your stuff cool for a long time. My experience with charging this power station has been consistent, 6 to 6.5 hours with the 90-watt wall charger. A little more if you're using the car charger, although it's hard to judge because you're not driving for 7 hours at a time, so it's hard to judge. But the car charger will give this thing 100 watts, no problem, so that you can charge in about 6 or 7 hours as expected. And then my solar charger that I have also works on this, allowing me to get 100 to 120 watts of charging into this on those bright sunny days. I think the day that I tested it, I only got about 45-50 watts, but we're getting into fall. It's not very sunny outside, but during summertime, this should have no problems getting charged up with my solar panel. Now, for those of you with bigger solar panels, the adapter that comes with this allows you to plug in 2 solar panels, so you can actually charge this in under 4 hours. Now, I couldn't personally test this, but I've watched a couple videos on the product, and I've seen that it can be done. So those of you with big solar panels know that you can charge this with it. And then finally, this does support pass-through charging, which means I can hook up a bunch of stuff on the front and I can charge it at the same time. It will charge the devices and it will charge the power station at the same time. Lately, I found myself using this as my go-to option. When I'm on the go, when I'm running around town, I'm visiting with my son or doing whatever the hell I'm doing, I find myself grabbing this one as opposed to the other ones that I've previously used. The more compact design makes it much less of a chore to haul around compared to some of the other bulky competitors out there. And with so many charging ports, I find myself able to charge whatever I need to charge pretty much anytime I need to. You know, if I need to charge something, there's a port here to charge it. Just consider this. For a typical off-road trip, I have one main camera with a few batteries. I have a drone with 4 batteries, 7 GoPros with tons of batteries. I have accessories for GoPros, 2 personal phones, a work phone, a dedicated drone phone, a GPS tablet, my regular tablet, my computer, and a bunch of work lights. Yes, that is a lot of stuff. My point is I can keep all of that nearly charged for all my trips, and especially on those long trail runs or camping runs, it is so useful being able to just leave stuff charging and having so many ports to work with. There's so much versatility with it. It's just honestly my favorite feature. All right, finally, let's talk about some positives, some negatives of the AC50S. First up, positives. I really like how Bluetti was able to make a compact and lightweight design without compromised quality. Like this thing, it's solid. You hear it, it's solid. I'm not gonna drop it, but I'm sure if I drop this, it would be just fine. And then as I mentioned, the ridiculous amount of charging ports is very useful for somebody like me. Lastly, coming in at about 300 bucks, this is a very affordable option for a 500 milliamp hour power station. Now let's cover some negatives. The USB ports are not fast charge. Luckily for somebody like me, I'm usually charging GoPros, camera batteries, you know, with random cords, so I may not benefit from having these be specifically fast charging. So it is what it is, but for those of you that might be looking, hey, I want to charge 4 phones, you know, with fast charge at the same time, you can't currently do it with something like this. You can get fast charge through the AC ports, you can get fast charge through the car charger, but the USB power ports are not fast charge. And then also, this being a 500 milliamp hour power station with a 300 watt inverter, this puts it in direct competition with other 500 milliamp hour power stations. And usually with those, you're gonna see 500 watt, you know, inverters to go along with that. So those will typically have a little bit more power. Maybe they could power stoves or something a little bit bigger. They could power, you know, fans or something, you know, like household appliances for maybe an hour. But even then, 300 watts is plenty of power to charge the things that I need to charge. Computers, drones, cameras, all of that stuff gets powered just fine with this. In all, I gotta say, I really like this power station. I foresee this being probably my go-to main one that I'm gonna use for the foreseeable future. If you're interested in checking one of these out, go ahead and check out the link below. I'll have this linked as well as Bluetti's website, so you can check out their other portable power stations as well as some of their bigger ones. They have a bunch of products on there. Maybe we'll check out some other stuff for the future. But that's it for our review of the Bluetti AC50 portable power station. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. You also have stuff for shirts, hats, hoodies, you know, especially hoodies. It's hoodie season. Keep yourselves warm. Pick up a hoodie at our brand new online store, Dirtnationoffroad, BigCartel.com. But that's all we got for this video. Thank you guys. We will see you again next time.